Good afternoon and good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Kickstart Bahrain information session. It's exactly 11 o'clock in Manama and 4 o'clock in Singapore, but we will wait for 1 or 2 minutes for other people to join. Wasim, can you maybe also join with your camera so that people can know who you are and who's representing Kickstart Bahrain?
You are mute.
Sorry, yeah, my internet is a little bit okay.
Okay, it's time, so we're just gonna get started. I will go into the presentation in a minute. Do you maybe want to say something before I get started, Wasim, to welcome everybody else who's on the call?
Yeah, I would like to welcome everyone who joined us today, and we are very pleased to have you with us, and hopefully you will find this session is helpful for you, and we're looking forward to serve you in the best way. And yeah, that's it for now, and we'll have any questions or information later on in the session. So yeah, I will give it to you, Robin, now, so you can go ahead with the introduction about the program.
Perfect. Thank you, Wasim. So welcome everyone to the Kickstart Bahrain 2024 information session. My name is Robin Turnings. I'm the founder CEO of the startup body. And together with Wasim's team, we're this year organizing a program called Kickstart Bahrain, which I will share a lot of information about during this session. The presentation will be short. I will try to keep it to 10 minutes and try to give you all the information that you need to decide if you want to join, how to register, things like that. Before I get started, I want to make a quick note. I already put in the chat earlier, but this session will be recorded, and we will also share it with people who could not be here today so that they can have all the information that we're sharing here. So for your note, this session is being recorded. With that, I'm going to get started. The program high level looks like this. I will share a little bit about what Kickstart Bahrain 2024 is, what the program is about, why we set it up, why we're running it, who are doing it, and things like that. Then I'll tell you a little bit more about the first upcoming cohort, which will be on educational tech. Then I will show you how to actually register for the program. Some of yours have already registered, others are in the process. I'm very happy to say that at this point we already have 22 applications, which is we are very happy with because it's the first time we're running this program. And then there will be plenty of time to ask questions. I know this is in the agenda for an hour, but that is mainly to facilitate any questions that you might have. There's also colleagues of ours live here on this session. So if you have a question for something very specific, they can help you out. And on the Startup Buddy platform, there's a chat function which you can open. So they are live available to help you with any practical questions that you might run into while you're registering. For this session, I don't know if many of you have used Google Meets before. So for those who are using this for the first time, there's two ways that you can ask questions to me and to Wasim. Number one is by using the Q&A. You can see in the bottom right side of your screen, if you're on a computer, a little icon with a triangle, a box, and a round. If you click that, you will see a Q&A option, and there you can post any questions. There's also a chat option, which is a little bit more in the middle of your screen. So put any questions in there. I will first share my presentation with you because I suppose that will answer most questions already. And then I will go to the questions so that I can answer everything in one go. Okay, so more about the program. Like I already shared earlier, this program is an initiative by two organizations, Kickstart Bahrain, which Wasim is leading, which, as the name already tells you, is based in Bahrain, and which is a large and successful co-work space over there, where a lot of startup entrepreneurs are setting up their businesses and running their companies. And by the Startup Buddy, which is an online platform based out of Singapore, and a platform that we will be using to support this program throughout. The reason that we have set up this program is a number of things, of course, but the main things are we are looking to connect more startups and entrepreneurs around the world. So this is specifically a program for anyone, anywhere. You don't have to be in Bahrain, even though that's the name of the program. We very specifically invite you if you're from places I probably have never heard of. So we're gonna try to help you accelerate the building of your businesses. It's gonna be a 10-week program. And in those 10 weeks, we will try to provide you with as much learning and information as we possibly can. So to basically give you a leg up in creating a more successful business. And then thirdly, of course, we like to share more about how you can actually do business in the Middle East more in general and Bahrain more specifically. There will be a few sessions about how to set up a company in Bahrain, why that is attractive, how things culturally are maybe a little bit more different if you're from another part of the world, things like that. The program, like I already said, will be for 10 weeks, and we're starting on March 20th, which is exactly 2 weeks from now. There will be online live sessions like the one you're in right now, and there will be assignments that you will be asked to do. The live sessions will be every week on Wednesday at the same time. Do make sure that you check the time zone. So the time zones that I've put here are Singapore, Manama, and London specifically. But when you are accepted into the program, you will get a calendar invite, and that should automatically adjust to where you are. Like I also said, there will be assignments. The assignments will be on the Startup Buddy platform. Everybody who's registering for this program automatically has an account on the Startup Buddy platform, because that's where the registration is done. And that information will be used throughout the program also. At the end of the 10 weeks, there will be a graduation demo day where the companies that have performed the best and that have done everything that's required throughout the 10 weeks will have the opportunity to present their companies, meet investors, and present in front of a big live audience. There will be 3 cohorts this year that we have planned. So the first one, which is coming up, will be on EdTech, which already starts in 2 weeks. Then there will be a second cohort, which is later in the year, which starts on July 15th. And the third cohort will start on 4th of November and will be for anybody else. Now, if you are not an EdTech company, but you're listening to this presentation right now and you're interested, you can actually already register today. And we will basically assign you to the upcoming cohort in the future that's most suitable for you, assuming that the rest of the registration is correct. So you don't need to wait till July or November to actually register. Apart from that, there will be public events that we will then keep you informed about. So my recommendation is, if this sounds interesting to you, register today so that you stay informed. Then we have had a lot of questions about what will the program content-wise actually look like. There is a high-level agenda on the website of the program, which you can check for yourself. But we very specifically build up this program gradually. So one of the questions that you will come across when you're registering is, what would you actually like to learn or do during this program? And we will try to accommodate those specific questions and requirements from your end in the program. So that's also why this program initially will be open to anybody. So if at the moment you just have an idea that you're working on and not much else, you can definitely participate in the program. But throughout the 10 weeks, we will very fast increase like what you're supposed to have done already for your business, and you have to make sure that you keep up with that. We try to accommodate as many companies that are in the cohort. So if it turns out that 90% are very early stage companies, we'll focus more on that. If there's more mature companies, we'll focus a little bit more on that. So make sure that you let us know what you like to get out of the program, what you need, so that we can tailor for that. Then how can you actually join the program? I will show you the registration process in a second, but very obviously you have to make sure that you register in a complete, honest, and verifiable way. We will check the information that you're providing through your social media handles, etc. We do that because later on you also get the opportunity to work with other founders and to pitch in front of investors. So we want to make sure that you're serious about this and that everybody gets the most out of this program, that everybody is invested in this. I think the registrations should take you anywhere between 5 and 10 minutes. So it's not a lot of work, but make sure that you do it correctly. Then, of course, you have to have an idea or a business that's active in the cohort that will come up. So, of course, if you're in e-commerce, you cannot join the EdTech cohort yet, but you will be eligible to join, for example, in November for the more general program. Throughout the program, we will monitor if participants are serious about doing the assignments that they're supposed to do, are joining the live sessions, etc. So the companies who do that seriously, they get the opportunity to pitch at the end and graduate. If for whatever reason you drop out earlier, that's obviously up to you, but we want to make sure that everybody who stays in the program is equally invested. Then the EdTech program. Like I already said, this will be the first program that we're kicking off in 2 weeks from now. It will be for any type of company that's active in the education space. And it doesn't matter like what level of education that is. So it can be professional education. It can be for very small children. It can be online courses. It can be working with universities, etc., etc. So it can be very diverse, but it has to be related to the education space. Like I already said, progression throughout the program will be based on the effort and the energy that you're putting in. There will be every week a live session, which will be around 1 hour per week. On top of that, I think you will need to assume that you need anywhere between 30 minutes and an hour to do the assignments each week. So you need to have around 2 hours per week available. All of the assignments, all of the work that you will be supposed to do is stuff that any entrepreneur needs to work on anyway. So maybe you have already done a lot of the stuff, then it will cost you less time. Maybe you're just starting out with your idea, then it might take you a little bit more time. The applications for the EdTech cohort close next Wednesday. So from now, you still have 1 week to either apply from scratch or to finish your application. And graduation day will be on May 29th, which is, I guess, 12 weeks from now. Okay, then the registration process itself. I will keep this on the screen for a second. In the meantime, I will explain it. This is the program code that you have to use while you're registering. This is very, very important. Some of you might already know that the Startup Buddy is a very big global community. We have almost 5,000 members globally, and a lot of those are using the platform that we will be using throughout this program. to make sure that you will see the right content, that you will be invited for the correct events, that you will be invited to the program, etc., etc. It's mandatory that you use this code so that we can see that you want to be part of Kickstart Bahrain. So the code is KB small x TSB 2024. So how do you register in practice? First of all, I very much recommend that you add the email address info@thestartupbuddy.co to your contact list on Microsoft or Google or Yahoo or whatever other email provider you're using. That basically makes sure that some emails that you will get in the future about the program don't end up in your spam. So when you register to the program, you will get a verification email to make sure that your email is rightly connected to your account. That will come, all those emails will come from this address. So if you make sure that you put it in your email provider first, then you cannot hopefully miss that email. Secondly, you go to either the Kickstart Bahrain website and you look for the EdTech program that you will find there, or you go to the Startup Buddy website. When you go to the Startup Buddy website, you can click the big green button at the top, which says Join. You can also right now, if you're behind your computer with your phone, scan the QR code that you see on the right, and it will bring you automatically to our website. When you click Join, you will go to this page. On this page, you will be asked to choose your role as a participant on both the Startup Buddy website and in the Kickstart Bahrain program. For most of you, your role will obviously be startup. But there might be a few people listening in that are joining as an investor or as a mentor. We have a couple of mentors already who have joined the program, so they will be helping the startups later in the program. Basically, make sure that here you check that you click the correct role. The next page that you will see is this one. This is where you need the program code that I explained earlier. So at the top of your screen, you will see a small box that says, I have a startup program code. There you have to put in the code, which is KBXTSB 2024. If you put it in correctly, it will light up green. It will say basically the code is applied. If it's red, you didn't type it correctly or you didn't copy paste it correctly. You can make an account in different ways. You can use email and password, or you can also connect your Google account or your LinkedIn account to create an account and register for the program. After you've done the previous screen, go back to your email box. In your email box, you should find an email from info@thestartupbuddy.co that asks you to verify your email. If you don't see it in your regular email box, make sure to check your spam folder. Sometimes it goes in there. If for whatever reason you don't see the email popping up, you can always use the chat on our website and ask us to verify your email. You have to then let us know what the exact email is that you signed up with. And we will, if we see that in our administration page, we will verify it for you. So if for whatever reason the email doesn't come through, then just contact us. Once you have logged in, you will see a page which looks very similar to this. Obviously, I've used my account a little bit longer than most of you, but this is what we call the dashboard. So this is the starting page for startups on the Startup Buddy. For investors and mentors, it will look differently, but for startups, it will look like this. This will basically be your dashboard throughout the Kickstart Bahrain program, where you will be able to find your assignments, where you can check your progress, where you can network, where you can join events, etc., etc. I'm not going to explain all of that today. We will do that during the first kickoff session. But what is important here is that on the top right side, you see a little icon, which is your profile. So first of all, you have to complete your profile. This is like any other website typically, so it will ask you what your name is, what company you're with, what your LinkedIn profile is, a little bit of information about yourself which is relevant for using the Startup Buddy platform. Then the next thing that you will need to do, I hope that you can see, where's my cursor? Yes, here. So over here, you see a little icon below the four different boxes. This is the icon for the goals. So goals are the assignments that you will be doing in the 10 weeks on the platform. You can find all your assignments and goals here. But to get started, this is also where you can find the registration for Kickstart Bahrain 2024. Because apart from your profile that you have found here, there will be some more questions that we will be asking you before you can actually join the program. So you can also scroll down in this screen if you see it live, and then you will see the goals a little bit lower in your screen. Anyway, when you get to the dashboard, just play around with it, search for it. But remember to register to Kickstart Bahrain program. You have to complete your profile and the registration goal. The registration goal this is the profile first. So these will be some questions about yourself and questions about your company. When you have correctly completed all of those, you will see this screen, which says, congratulations, you've completed your profile and you have earned 100 coins. Our platform rewards all the work that you do in there with coins. Which again, I will explain another time. But basically, when you see that you've earned coins, it means that you're finished with that specific task, also with the goals. So then you have to go to the registration goal, which you see over here. Open it, answer those questions. And as you can see here at the bottom, when you're finished, again, it should take anywhere between 5 and 10 minutes to finish. You will earn 50 coins and you know that you're done. Finally, some of you might already have an account on the Startup Buddy because you have been part of other programs or a general user. So for you, you can apply the program code that I've shared about earlier here under your profile. You click open the profile and there it will say team. If you click on, sorry, not team, program, apologies. So if you click on program, you will see this screen, and then in this field, you can include the program code and automatically you're assigned to Kickstart Bahrain. Okay, with that, I think I've talked plenty. Sorry, it was a little bit more than 10 minutes. I will stop sharing my screen and have a look at the Q&A and the chat. Wasim is also available for questions. So please, everyone, let us know what you like to know other than what I've already shared. Let me see. I'm also opening up the Q&A here. Okay, first question. Hey, I'm Ayat Goma. Hi, Ayat. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. CEO and co-founder of Triff AI. I just have one question. You mentioned in the presentation that there would be an assignment for us to do. Could you please clarify what it entails? Yes. One obvious thing that we will definitely work on in some sessions is building a pitch deck. I'm not sure at what stage you are with your company, but in the startup world, it's quite normal that you build a pitch deck in which you describe to usually investors, but maybe also to customers, what your company is about. Usually a pitch deck is something like 10 pages, and there's some information that needs to be in there. And it's quite fundamental for any startup entrepreneur to have one, because you will have to tell people what you do, but you have to tell investors also what to do. So that will be an assignment that you will be working on throughout. But that will actually be cut up in pieces, because we will first, for example, ask you, what are your ideas about how to do your marketing, which could be then 1 or 2 pages within your pitch deck, etc., etc. Most of the assignments on the platform will be question-based. So we will ask you, how do you plan to do this? How have you done this, etc., etc. All the assignments will be explained every week before you have to do them, and we will discuss them the week after you're supposed to have done. So I hope that answers it. If not, just re-ask the question, please. Then anything to add to that, Wasim?
No, I think this is very clear. Okay, what you have mentioned. Okay, I saw some questions coming out about what is the potentials of the program and what the benefits later on. So we can move to these questions and then we can explain about what is the benefits, what are the deliverables, and what kind of role Kickstart Bahrain will be playing here to assist these startups, okay, in their journey. Okay, so yeah.
Yeah, that's actually a very good point, which I did not mention in the presentation, but we have a lot of partner benefits also, which help you build your business. So from providers like Stripe, AWS, Google, companies like that very often you need the services from. So for anyone who's accepted into the program, they have access to those benefits. Other than that, there will be a lot of benefits that Kickstart Bahrain can provide with registering your company, etc. Again, we will explain that later in the program, but apart from the learning and meeting people, there's a lot of other things that you can gain from this program. Let me see, next one. What opportunities does the program provide for networking, mentorship, and access to investors? I will try to answer that first, and then Wasim maybe wants to add on. So networking, first of all, like I already explained, this is a worldwide program, and we literally already have applications from Australia, United Kingdom, Egypt, Netherlands, I believe. Of course, a lot of countries in the Middle East, including Bahrain, Saudi Arabia. So it's a very diverse background of entrepreneurs that's joining. I believe that can be super valuable to you because you might be struggling with the same kind of questions and things that you're looking to solve. So there will be plenty of networking between the participants. On top of that, there will be mentors that you will be able to meet one-to-one, and that can help you on specific questions. And at the end of the program, there will be a demo day. And for that demo day, we will invite investors who are interested in the type of companies that you're building. So I believe that networking and meeting people is one of the large benefits of being in this program for you. Anything to add to that, Wasim?
Yeah, I think that's it. As you mentioned, we will have a demo day that you will have an idea, a opportunity to pitch your idea program for potential investors on the platform. Okay, and these investors will be from different countries. Okay, from Bahrain, outside Bahrain, we will accommodate all the network for Startup Body and Kickstart Bahrain to bring up these investors on the platform. Additionally, on top of that, the graduated startups, okay, Kickstart will have a commitment for these startups. If you are willing to establish your presence in Bahrain, then Kickstart will come into to support you here. Okay, we will help you to establish your company for Bahrain for free. We will give you a free membership in our incubation center in Manama for a period of 2 years. Okay. Additionally, we will give you support. There are a lot of support and funding programs in Bahrain through the government of Bahrain that you can have the access to these programs. We will be guiding you and assisting you to access these facilities, these programs throughout our assistance for you during these two incubation periods. So after you graduate from the program, if you decided to make Bahrain as a place for your startup, our support for you will continue for the coming 2 years. Okay,
Yeah.
and there will be a lot of time later on to explain what are the potentials for your startup in Bahrain, which will give you many initiatives that you can find here to build your startup and to access funding and supports that may not be available anywhere else. Okay, so we will have the opportunity to explain all these programs and the way to access them in more details later on.
Yeah. I think that, again, like I already said, there's a lot of reasons why I think you should join this program. Wasim just very clearly explained another one. There's a lot of things that you will be able to leverage on, not just during the program, but also after. So there is a hand up by Ellen. I'm not actually sure what's going to happen. I just clicked you. Sorry, Ellen, I'm going to see. I guess I can put you live, so I will do that. I hope that if that's okay with you. Yes, I see you popping up. Hi, Alan. You're on mute, but if you unmute yourself,
Yes.
yeah.
Robin, let me put the camera on. It won't be a moment. Thank you. The question, thank you very much. The question that I have additional to what was just shared with us about funding, etc. You mentioned about the setup of company in Bahrain. Does this also then mean that the intellectual property of the idea needs to be transferred in the Bahrain entity, or it doesn't have to be that way?
No, it doesn't need to be that way. You can still, if let's say, if you have your company or startup registered anywhere else in the world, and you need to keep this registration for any reason, maybe you will have access to supporting programs in that area, region, or for intellectual property rights, whatever, you still can keep that. Additionally, you can have a setup in Bahrain, okay, that will help you to grow your startup, okay, and will give you access to these funding and supporting programs. Bahrain is one of the, I think, very, very, very extreme countries now, which is you have almost zero corporate tax, zero income tax, and you can have a lot of access to a lot of supporting programs. We can explain this, but in our first session. But for your question, no, you can still keep your identity wherever you are registered. Additionally, you have a setup in Bahrain, and you have access to all the supporting programs which the Bahrain government can provide for you. And we will be with you during this period to have the access for these programs.
Great. Thank you. Now, you've answered the question perfectly. Thank you, Azim. Thanks, Robin. And I'll definitely be submitting my application, Robin. So you'll be getting something in the next 24 hours or so. Thank you. Thank you.
Great.
Thank you,
Alan. Let me see. Next question. By the way, for everybody who didn't notice, you can also raise your hand, which is the little hand icon at the bottom, and then I'll give you the floor too. Then you can speak to us in person, which is very nice too. Let me see. So what opportunities are available for startups to pitch their ideas to investors? I think I might have answered that in a way already. The main opportunity will be the demo day at the end of the program. Maybe there will be some mentors that happen to be investors as well in the program. in the program itself, we will first help you prepare for meeting the investors. That's usually a good idea anyway, to be prepared before you actually meet them. So it will be primarily at the end of the program. Let me see. Then the next question, what are the benefits for startups that successfully complete the program? I think we mentioned many of those already. You can be part of the demo day. You will learn a lot from the program itself. You will be able to network with entrepreneurs like yourself. Actually, Ellen and me happen to know each other, and I think that Ellen can confirm that it's very valuable to be able to meet somebody from another part of the world who's building on something similar. So, and then on top of that, you have all the benefits that you can potentially leverage on when you're deciding to register your business in Bahrain, maybe even set up there, etc., etc. So there's a lot of stuff. We will go in much more detail about that when the program actually runs. Final one over here. How important is it for startups to keep up with the pace of the program? That's important in the sense of if you want to pitch. So, like I already mentioned, pitching for investors, you need to be prepared for, and you need to have a good story. I'm an investor myself, and I usually have a patience of around 10 seconds for a bad pitch. So we will help you making sure that you do a good pitch at the end of the program. But if you don't actually do the work yourself to actually get there, then you will not be pitching. So it's not good for you, by the way. But it's also not good, obviously, for the program. So in that sense, it's important. You can. I know that all of you have private lives and a busy life. So maybe sometimes you're a week behind or something like that. You can usually catch that up. But if structurally throughout the program you're not keeping up, then the biggest problem for you about that is that in the end we will not let you pitch because you will probably not be ready. I hope that answers the question. A lot of the other things you will still be able to participate in, like the networking and all those things. You will also be able to continue working together with Kickstart Bahrain and set up your company, all those things, but only the serious companies will pitch at demo day and graduate. Anything to add to that, Wasim?
Yeah, I just wanna bring out what is the idea behind like Kickstart Bahrain or the whole program. Why Kickstart Bahrain? And the startup body came up with this idea, and why we want to go through all these like expenses and headache and time and from our for free to help like random or unknown startups from different regions of the world. Okay. Myself, I started my business. I decided in 2014 to quit my job and to start my company as a consultancy to help entrepreneurships or businessmen companies who are willing to expand and to set up their business in Bahrain. And I worked in that field for a period of 2 years, but unfortunately, once you go out and you start your own business, there are a lot of things that you are not aware of. And so I have to learn all these things through the hard way, okay? And I saw what Bahrain can offer. And I have received a lot of support and funding and from the government through all their programs there in Bahrain, which helped me to reach like a certain point. Then we started Kickstart Bahrain back almost 5 years back as a co-working space, just to help incubate or to provide a space for the companies or the entrepreneurs coming to Bahrain to service them in our co-working space. And we started this back in 2017. Then I find out it's not only efficient just to provide them with this service. There is a lot of things that they need help. Okay, I found out that it's companies, they start within the first year, second year, then they liquidate the company. They don't continue whatever. So we came up with this idea, okay, to provide this acceleration program, to provide the basic things that a startup that need to build their startup, their company, whatever they're doing, and to assist them throughout the way. So this is the idea where it come through, okay? And we're committing to that. And whatever is your situation, I know, I do understand these days, like startups, they just start on an idea, and the next day they need an investor to inject around $1 million, $2 million. It doesn't happen this way. There is a work, you need to do your homework. And once you do your homework, then the investor will have, will decide if to invest or not. But you need to do your work. There is a lot of work from your side that you need to do. And this is why we are here to make it easy through this 3 months, okay? I know that this is not the end of the story, the journey, but this is a first step. And once you finish this step, we will be with you for the coming 2 years. So I hope that the message passed through. And this is a community. This is the first program that we are starting. We decided on the EdTech. We're going for another programs later on. But this is a journey. We're going to build this community, and we will try to serve as much startups, companies who are willing to support themselves as well and get the benefits from what we are trying to offer. So that's initially what we are trying to do here. So yeah, I really appreciate everyone who joined us today and they submitted their application on the platform, even if it is 10-15 minutes to submit the application, but at least you have taken the first step, and this is very important. And yeah, and as Robin said, this is for you. We will be listening. Whatever you need to do, we will accommodate this program for you. We don't have a set program that you have to do this and this and this, but we need to have the best outcome for all the registered companies there.
Thanks a lot, Wasim. I think the typed questions, I have covered most of them. If anybody still has a question, make sure to put it in the Q&A now. Ellen has another question. I think you can just unmute yourself.
Thanks, Robin. I'm not sure if it's a question that's appropriate for now or post the 20th of March. Check sizes and what's realistic versus what's fantasy. Obviously, every founder wants that $1 million check the next day after the idea is thought of. What's the appetite for EdTech in Bahrain? And I suppose this is a very general question, so I don't even know if it can be answered. What sort of check sizes should those on this call, including me, be thinking about that's potential realistic? Should we, tick all the boxes, go through all those hurdles, meet the right people? Obviously, the concept is right. Should we be thinking about that now, or should that conversation be taking place sometime in the 12-week journey?
If I understood your question well, that what is the limits of the support that you're gonna get in or in Bahrain, or
more the size of the check, I suppose. The size of the investment. Obviously, we're in different parts of the world. Some sectors, the checks are much larger than others. I suppose my question is on EdTech. What sort of money or check size is realistic that we should be thinking of going through this cohort successfully? Is that something that can be discussed now, or is that something that is more tailored to each startup that gets accepted during the program?
I think that comes down a little bit to who are going to be the participants of the program, which at this point, I mean, we have a rough idea of the registrations that we already have, but we don't know the full list yet. As you happen to know, the startup body has a pretty decent network of investors. And during the program, we will contact those investors that I feel in this case are relevant for the companies in the program to join the demo day. So there's not necessarily a hard correlation between investors in Bahrain and the participants of the program. There will be investors from around the world, most likely. And having said that, I can basically not answer your question about check size because we don't know yet.
Okay.
I don't see any more questions on the chat and on the Q&A, so I suppose we have answered everything for now. I want to show a few more places where you can follow up with additional questions if you happen to have any. Give me 1 second. So when you go to the startup buddy, there's quite a lot of ways you can reach out to us if you have questions about the content of the program, about the benefits of the program, about the dates, anything. Of course, you can first check the program websites. Kickstart Bahrain and the Startup Buddy both have a website where you can find most of the relevant information. And we will be uploading this recording there as well, so you can rewatch it if you want to. If, however, you want to get in touch to get more detailed information, first of all, we have the Startup AI Buddy, which looks like the little robot at the bottom right side. You just click it, and hopefully it will help you give the right answer. Small disclaimer from our end, he went live a month ago, so we're still teaching him. So if you don't really trust his answer, there's also the chat option. In most cases, when you use the chat option, you get connected to our team. So to Fight, Darvis, myself, or somebody else. And we will basically try to answer any questions that you might have. We are also able to see what you are doing at that moment during your registration. So if you have a technical problem, usually that's the best way to reach out to us. And then, of course, we have an email address, so you can simply just email us with questions that are less urgent. And finally, there's a YouTube channel where you can find a lot of help videos about how to register to the program and things like that. So you can check everything there at your own speed. So there's a lot of ways that we can support you. Please simply register. And if you get stuck, use any of these channels to reach out to us. With that, we have come to the formal close of today's program. I want to thank everybody very, very much for making the time to join us. I hope that you got all the answers that you needed. If not, let us know. Then we'll still answer later. We will stay on this call for a bit until everybody has left. So if you still want to have a chat, please just stay and we can have a one-to-one chat. Otherwise, please register. Let your friends who might benefit from the program know how to register. And I hope to see most of you in 2 weeks from now at the start of the Kickstart Bahrain program. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Robin. Thanks, Wasim. Thank you. Good seeing you, Robin. Take care. Thank you, mate. Bye-bye.
Thank you.